All right. Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to be here with my guest, Jason. And there's no Chuck this week. That's okay. We know we missed Chuck on this episode on Tranont Health, but he's here with us in spirit. But for us, we said the show must go on. And you know what? We always say, Chuck and I, and you haven't really met him formally yet, Jason, that, you know what? The best part about Tranont, aside from the products, we know the products are great. And of course, the compensation plan is amazing, but is the community. You can't trade that for anything. And the community that is developed leads us to cross paths with like you and me. You are in the States, I'm in Canada. I guarantee our paths wouldn't have crossed except for this awesome company. So first of all, I want to say thank you. I mentioned I'm
Absolutely.
from Canada. I'm from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. I've been with Tranont for over 2 years. I love everything about it. And that's all I'm going to speak about for me, is because I want to turn the floor and the podium over to you to kind of introduce yourself, how you got into Tranont, and just kind of that general overview.
My name is Jason Beverland. I'm currently living in Myrtle Beach. I do feel like I have a little connection to my friends from Canada. I grew up in Royal Oak, Michigan, right across the border from Windsor and right outside Detroit. So definitely feel some connection there to Canada, being so close for so many years growing up.
And
And
and Chuck's from Detroit too.
is he really?
Yeah, yeah. There's going to be a connection.
Nice.
I know it.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first call I was on with the men's mentoring group to see so many guys from Canada, I was like, oh, that is really cool.
Yeah.
So, but growing up in Royal Oak, went down to Western Carolina to play baseball. And once you go south as a baseball player, you really don't want to come back up north because it's cold.
Yeah.
So, now I go visit. That's what I do. But after 3 years there, I started playing professionally. I was with the A's, the Yankees, the Angels, and then I finally made it to the big leagues with Detroit and Cleveland. Uh, Quite an honor for me to get to play for my hometown team in Detroit. I was like a kid in a candy store. Everybody else is like, "Why are you so excited?" Hey, man, I know that guy from when I was a kid, but it was great experience. I got right into coaching after that. I was a college coach for 10 years at Georgia Southern, Tennessee, Bethune-Cookman, and Coastal Carolina here in Myrtle Beach, and also scouted for the Toronto Blue Jays, another Canadian connection. There you go. There you go. And great organization. And, just learned yet another part of baseball. So I've kind of been, a player, a coach, a scout. Um, and that's one thing that I think is so exciting about this transition for me is I love to learn new things, and challenge myself and um, really use the tools I've learned along the way to help me in whatever my next endeavor is. Just like when I was coaching and went into scouting, what can I bring as a coach that might be a little bit different than some of the other scouts, the way they look at it? Or, same here, like what can I bring with my background that might be a little bit different to add to, how the team does versus someone else's journey to the same spot. So, I think we all bring something special to the table for sure, regardless of where we came from. We're all going to bring those strengths and weaknesses, and that to me is one of the most exciting parts. In addition to the great products that Tranont has also. So my wife and sister have both been doing this for 4 years. And My sister's been doing it full time and has really taken off and done extremely well. And my wife's done well, as well. Over those 4 years, though, I've been lucky enough while I was coaching to actually get like an inside look at like how this works.
Yeah,
Before I jumped into it, wow, how does this really work and what goes into it? And I would say one thing that has absolutely blown my doors off and impressed me is the support that every person gets right from the jump from other people in the community. I think that's definitely something that is a separator for this company. And whether it's at all levels too. Right when you start, you have access to a lot of people that have already done a lot in this business, that are very established and doing very well. And like we had talked about, I don't think that's very common in a lot of industries that right when you start out, you have access to people that are near the top of the game, in the top of what they do, um, to learn from. And I think it's really going to help accelerate the learning curve because, the insights that they can give you are on a different level than just talking to people that are in the same boat as you at the same level as you. It doesn't hurt to not be the smartest person in the room all the time. So
absolutely.
you definitely learn a lot quicker. So no, I'm terribly excited about it, and I can't wait to really get this thing rolling.
I think people really, I mean, sometimes it can be kind of like that common phrase that people hear, oh, why do you like it there? It's the community. Like for me, like instantaneously within that first even day of researching it, which, I was interested in the collagen product and
Right,
all of a sudden started learning about it. And within that amount of time, um, you just have that gut feeling, and that gut feeling is representative of our products too, because it's so important. It's our second brain. But I knew right away that I wanted to be part of it. And then not only within a day, within a week, to your point, not only are our leaders from every level supporting us, they are willingly and wanting to do that because they love what they do. It's not something like, oh, okay, I have to show up for this. Like, you know what?
right,
You were on a call this past week with Bree Richardson, right? She was
right,
there. She was supporting this. Your sister was there, and your wife. So those are all things that, like you said on that call and you're describing right now, that's not typical. when you go there,
right,
you may have somewhat access, but in your sports analogies, right? Like it's just like, okay, the big club, if you're at, if you're in double A or triple A ball, like it's there. Sometimes you may visit, but it's not that access is not purely there. So I hope I summed up that analogy somewhat correctly for you.
no,
um,
absolutely.
okay, but yeah, for me, so I'm really interested in this because obviously we all have different backgrounds. So obviously you're coming from the sports side of things, and obviously nutrition and products are so key to being a high performance athlete, and of course everything surrounding that and what they need to have in their bodies to perform at peak. So I guess maybe if you wanted to speak about the products themselves at a high level, and then kind of over those years or more recently, being in the background, what products have you been kind of taking or dabbling with that you've had success with?
So I think I mentioned this on one of our calls, in the men's group. I've kind of taken all the products over the 4 years, guinea pigged a few of them, whatever, and all of them have done what they said they were going to do, which is amazing because that isn't typically the case. You don't usually get results from every product you take. And, everybody's body's different and responds to things differently. So, it can be hit and miss a little bit, because different people are going to respond different ways. But I've really had a positive, um, it's had a positive impact on me, really everything I'm taking. The ones that I like the most love Mojo. First thing in the morning, I get Mojo in me. And I think the reason I like it so much is not just the energy, but you instantly get a rush of focus, which is different.
Yeah.
Like coffee will give you energy. And usually you need two, three, 4 cups, as you go throughout the day or whatever to sustain it. 1 cup, it it's very sustainable.
Were you a big
And my
coffee?
level of
Sorry.
focus
Yeah. Were you a big
stays
coffee
all
drinker
day.
before?
Yeah, I like coffee, and
Yeah.
it would take, 2, 3, 4 cups, like
Yeah.
to get the same sustainable energy,
Wow.
that I would get before. And I didn't ever have the level of focus with 2, 3, 4 cups of coffee that I do with 1 cup of Mojo, which to me, like I said, it's just different. I think, it's at a it's really not comparable.
No,
And
that
it
slow
only takes
release,
one
it's
cup.
amazing. Yeah, and then the serotonin in it as well, like that's the happy kind of chemical in our body, just that everything from that focus, and even the sister product Zest. I had a
Hmm.
customer this past week who had tried it, maybe wasn't in the mindset or in that moment wasn't consistent on it. All of a sudden discovered it again, was feeling kind of lackadaisical, a little bit like down on energy, took one and just all of a sudden that brain fog, to your point, was gone. That energy level sustained. It, like the caffeine in our
Yeah.
product doesn't just shoot you up and then crash you down. It just goes like this and keeps you going all
Yes.
day. It's not, there's no jitters, there's no anything. So I love it. So I guess maybe you can speak to a secondary product, and then maybe I'll throw a curveball at you, um, which is, what's your favorite kind of sleeper product? The one that maybe isn't the one that always gets all the attention, but that you like using for somebody that's watching, because a lot of them justifiably so get the attention of being that tip of the iceberg or the tip of the sword.
All
But there's
right.
some in there I'm sure that you would want to speak about.
Um, for me, the second one that has been a game changer for me is Optimize because of the recovery aspect of it in sport. Like as a coach, you're not playing, but you're doing a lot of the same activities they are because you're demonstrating. Or like I threw with all the rehab guys, anybody that was rehabbing their arm, and there was a lot of throws to be made, with those guys, and I just never got sore. Like I truly didn't. I would take that at night, and it would actually help me sleep because the soreness was going away as I was sleeping, so that wasn't going to wake me up, in addition to the other products. So, it really kept me going, while I was coaching, and allowed me to be as physical as I needed to be to help them, and be available every day. And so for me, that product was outstanding. Like I can only imagine taking it as an athlete, how good it would be, because you're doing even more to make your body create soreness, just how it reacted to my body doing probably half of what they're doing. And it was outstanding. It really did. It was a game changer for sure.
Yeah, people don't believe me. I mean, everybody, again, we've identified that everybody's body's different, and my story is not everybody else's story, but people don't believe me when I honestly say I haven't taken Tylenol or ibuprofen in 2 years. And people
Now I
think
can
about
see
that,
it.
and like I haven't. Like if I'm getting a headache, I'll take Boost. It opens up our circulatory system. When I play hockey or anything like that, I am, I have the Optimize if I know that I got the shot off an ankle or banged into something, but also just that normal performance recovery. But One thing I've also found is it's not about just in the moment, to your point, of getting to be able to perform. It's that next day, and it's cyclical because you're like, oh, okay, that delayed onset muscle soreness that you're coming from, and it just
Right.
then I don't want to work out. And whether you're a performance athlete or you're just trying to go to work the next day, it's cyclical because then you don't want to go to the gym, and then you don't want to do the chores at the house because you're all sore. Well, this is covering so many things on these products. So from everywhere in between, I'm glad that you could see yourself using that as an athlete. Okay, so let's go to sleeper pick.
My sleeper pick is for anybody that has to drive a lot. And this is because scouting, we were in the car all the time. You're driving from one place to the other, to the other, to the other. And some of those drives are late at night. So you always scary, you want to try and pick time. Some guys don't have an option. Like one of the gentlemen that was on the call the other day, he drives a truck. You know, you got to get where you got to get in a
Mhm.
certain amount of time. And, God bless those guys for getting us all those products to the right spot at the right time. It's a tough job, I'm sure, because I did so much less than that driving, and it was tough. It was like I would say optimized for someone like that would be ideal,
Mhm.
because it's going to help their recovery. But focus, I just it's same type thing, I want to make sure I stay awake first and foremost when I'm on the road at 1 a.m. and I'm trying to get to the next city to go see the next player. It's a safe way to not have to kill 4 energy drinks to make sure you stay awake. It's safe and your level of awareness is right where you need it to be.
Yeah.
And it's not going to keep you up for 4 days. And like I said, everything in it's natural. Every time I've taken it's been outstanding. It does exactly what I want it to. The whole time I'm driving, I'm alert, I'm locked in. And that for me, I think depending on, what you do, or if you just need to be very alert at certain times of the day, or that, 5 o'clock crash that some people get, where you're just like all of a sudden
Yeah.
zapped for energy, and you just need enough pick me up to get through the rest of the day. I think it's a great product.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I love everything from the vitamin B, that component of it, and just even myself, I'm always transparent that I do suffer from mental health issues, and when we get low in vitamin B and B12 specifically too, which it has it in there, that it doesn't help the whole process with giving yourself that mental clarity and that mental energy to combat some of those things. So I love that product myself. But you said something interesting there, and a lot of times people when they come across, we call our products luxury impact products. You know what, you need to invest in yourself on these. And so
Hmm.
sometimes when they look at some of the costing, they're like, oh, that might be a little bit out of my budget, and we have to respect people's entry point to money. However, you mentioned a lot of things that you didn't purchase, let alone the health factors of saying I didn't down 4 energy drinks and all the sugar and all the chemicals in those ones. But just think of the cost of an energy drink now. Pulling over the side of the road at the gas station or whatever, and buying 4 of those throughout the night. So addition by subtraction is what I'm saying in this case, is that when
Yes.
you're not stopping for those extra things to snack on because your body is feeling nourished the way it needs
Hmm.
to, is what these products do for everybody, and true to the word. I love how you said it's named correctly, and everything it says it's going to do, it does. So perfect. So I guess the last thing I'm going to throw to you, and you can take it from the business aspect, you can take it again from the product side and things we've launched, or things that are just true to be. But if somebody was watching this for the first time, and I said to you, why Tranont and why now, how would you answer that?
Why Tranont? Like I said, having that 4-year sneak peek. I guess you wouldn't call it a sneak peek if it's 4 years long. But, that being said, I've had that luxury to kind of see what it's all about. And it's pretty amazing, like I said, just the support, and they want you to succeed. You know what I mean? They're not trying to sign you up to just take your money as an investment. They want you to sign up because they want you to succeed, and they give you every opportunity to do that. And, one thing that I think is unbelievable, if you want to sign up, yes, you weren't one of the first people to sign up and make more than the highest person in the whole company, you can. You can build that. You know what I mean? It's going to be a lot of hard work, but you have that opportunity. Like, it's all set up for you. There's no restrictions on it. There's nobody holding you down. Like, nope, you're never going to make as much as me because I'm much higher than you. No, you can make as much as you want. You know what I mean? Like I said, there's a lot of
Mhm.
learning and hard work that goes into that, but nothing is capped. It's all what you kind of make it, which I think is outstanding. Like, that's the way it should be, that you have the opportunity to make it your own. If it's make $500 a month, that's great. And you make $500 a month. If you want to really go after it, and like in my case, doing this now full time, and I don't really have anything holding me back, another job or anything else. I'm going for it. Like,
Mhm.
that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
So, I think there's just a wealth of opportunity for whatever situation you're in. And I do think that a lot of people find that they like it so much that they could see themselves doing this full time. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And they are doing well, and so on and so forth. So I just, from an opportunity side, on the business end of it, and then you put the products next to that, and that opportunity skyrockets because the products are unbelievable. They work. They taste good. How many products have you seen that they're probably effective, but they taste like cardboard? You know what I mean? Like, that's no fun to take something that tastes like cardboard
Mhm.
every single day, even though it works for you. These products not only taste good, they're natural and healthy, and they work.
Yeah.
So, they're easy to sell. All someone has to do is take them.
Yeah.
If they take them, the chances of them having a good experience with the products is very high.
That's right.
So I just thought it was an unbelievable opportunity, and I couldn't be more excited about it.
Oh, it's so amazing to sum that up that way. For a lot of it, whether it's with the products or the business, it's consistency and routine and showing up. So just like a gym membership, if we paid for the gym membership and we go 3 times in the month and we call it a failure, not a success, then there
Right.
are some things that we have to evaluate. And so, a good routine and a good trial of any products is 2 to 3 months on that. And that's with us, using it and putting timers on and having accountability, which is, the person who sold you the products or groups that are doing with us. And we have a lot of these groups here. But then from the business side of things, it's the exact same thing. um, I have goals in this company. I have things
Hmm.
I'm targeting, high ceiling. But I love saying this, and I said it in our men's group chat. Like, comparison's the thief of joy. So everybody has their own pathway, and you can put as much energy or as little energy as you want into it. And for me, I'm over 2 years in, and I'm very happy with where I am. However, I would love to be higher. And so that hasn't perturbed me, but other people could find that as a way to say, after 3 months or 6 months, this is not working. You got to fight through that. And so consistency in showing up with anything in your job, anywhere in life is worth it because it's so good at the end of it. And plus, like you said, the products and the people along the way.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
absolutely. So, Jason, so amazing to get to know you more on this call. And I can't again appreciate enough your time in joining this. And, we'll keep in touch, but best of luck as you continue on your journey. So I just want to say thank you again and have a great night.
No, thank you for having me. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks and have a good night.
Okay, thanks.